morning, all. Thanks for being with us today. We've got quite a few things we're wanting to get done, so strap in. We've got a lot of work to do. Ashley, what are you doing? I'm really glad that you asked. So, we've already harvested most of the corn off of this row, and now it's just kind of masking in all the other things that maybe aren't ready to be picked yet. And it doesn't help that my weeds are out of control down here. But the reason why I'm looking for the ones that have already harvested versus the ones that aren't ready yet. If you remember, we had about 3 rows that were supposed to be red corn that didn't really germinate and they never really took off. So about 3 to 4 weeks later, I went back and hand planted some more ambrosia white corn through there. So with that being said, that means that there's a lot of corn down here that actually isn't quite to the point where it'll be harvested yet, or for a couple of weeks. But there are some in there that have been harvested that are making it really hard to see what's been harvested and what's not been harvested. So I'm cutting out the rows that I know I've harvested completely. And there are those one-off corn cobs that just didn't really pollinate 100%. So what I mean when I say that it wasn't very well pollinated or half pollinated, when you shuck your corn, you'll find that on the cob there are a few sparse patches where the kernels really came in really well, and they're beautiful and they're plump, and that's what you usually see on like those really nice ears of corn that you eat. Sometimes if they're not pollinated, they won't plump up like that. So those we're actually just going to go ahead and refeed to our chickens and our goats, so nothing goes to waste here. And for the sunflowers, some of the earlier blooming ones have already started to droop and are about ready to be hung up to dry so that we can harvest the seeds for next year. But I see that I've had a lot of goldfinches out here, which is great. I love to see those birds, and they leave me surprises all throughout my garden. I have a bunch of sunflowers over on the other side of this where I didn't plant them, and it's because goldfinches kind of gave me a surprise. So we're gonna go ahead and cut those, hang them up and dry them and harvest seeds for next year so we don't have to buy more seeds. I'm not sure if you guys are really familiar with this, but I've actually been seeing this a lot here in Indiana lately. This is considered corn smut, and it's apparently a little valuable. Obviously I'm not going to do anything with mine, but it goes into a specific dish. I will do a little research on that and get back with you guys and see if maybe we can make something out of this corn smut. So apparently this is a Mexican delicacy that goes into huitlacoche. I'm probably butchering the way that that is pronounced, but it's actually a fungus that's present in corn, and I've seen a lot of it here in Indiana this year, especially on some of the gardening forums that we're a part of. And I just think it's because it's been really hot, but we've had a lot of rainfall this summer. We usually go into a drought period, and this year it just hasn't happened, so I'm guessing this might be due to some of the humidity. But really neat to find it in the garden. I've been seeing it all over the internet and was like, oh, that'd be really cool to see. Lucky me. Corn smut. Sounds super disgusting. Looks pretty disgusting too, right? Look, purple corn smut. Wow, guys. So that huitlacoche, I was actually telling my husband this the other day. Well, I know in the clip just now I said I wasn't going to do anything with it. I almost can't let it go to waste, guys. Apparently it's a delicacy in Mexico. So if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. And I'm just kind of interested to see if we've got any more corn smut. Because some of the recipes that I was actually looking up require about 1 pound of corn smut to mix in with like regular corn. And while most of my regular corn is already spent, I went to a local flea market and got some white corn. So Yay, corn smut! Easy does it. Easy does it. Easy does it. Easy does it. Wow. Luckily, 32-year-old Ashley is finding this and not early 20s Ashley, because I would have saw this and be like, I ain't trying nothing new. This girl knows what she likes. We're sticking with it. But the older, more cultured Ashley, she's a little more adventurous. So it might not be in this episode, but it's going to be coming up. Hoyt Lacoche. Yeah. I'm a little disappointed. Boring, white, well, bicolored corn. Why is this a bad thing? Why am I disappointed? This was supposed to be glass gem, guys. It was supposed to look like this, right here. All that color, that's what it was supposed to look like. But I have white corn. The good thing is, I bet that this... I mean, it's good enough you could basically eat it raw. So, I might can this, or at least cook it and then put it in a freezer bag and freeze it for over the winter so we can have fresh corn. But it was glass gem, so why is it white and bicolored? I don't know if it's cross-pollination, because this is glass gem. All this over here is ambrosia white, which it didn't get very tall. So my glass gem got really tall, and my purple hybrid over here got really, really tall. So I'm a little bit sad, guys. I was really hoping for some beautiful corn, but I mean, it's corn nonetheless. I can still eat this, and obviously, ew. It's pretty good raw right off the cob, so beggars can't be choosers, and I can still eat it, so silver lining, guys, silver lining. Alright guys, on to the next thing. Oh, but before I forget, if at any point during the video you find yourself liking our content, let us know, leave us a like, drop us a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Oh, on to the next thing. And that, my friends, is the harvest from this week. So I think we'll keep getting jalapenos for a long time to come. I still have a lot of tomatoes that are not yet ready. So the Roma, Mortgage Busters, and what else did I plant? There was something else. Can't remember what they are. So I've got 4 different types of tomatoes. Mortgage Busters, Romas, the yellow pear tomatoes, and a mystery tomato that looks to be a lot like an heirloom tomato. It's those ones that are like real balloony. But you guys saw, there are just some that aren't ready, and there are some that are just over ready, or there's something wrong with them where really I ain't gonna eat them, they're not gonna eat them. So I know some animals that will eat them. One of the great things about having animals on a homestead, besides the whole it feels complete with animals, at least in my opinion, there's never anything that's wasted. So all of these tomatoes, overripe corn, poorly pollinated corn, things like that, squishy peppers, we have some animals that love to have it. You guys even saw the corn stalks don't even go to waste. And while I would love to use those as decorations, My goats will appreciate them a lot more than I will for a few weeks to adorn my house or the outside of my house in the autumn. And corn stalks are okay to give your goats. They don't provide a whole lot of protein or energy, so they're probably not a sufficient way to feed your goats, but hey, my goats really like them as a treat, so why not? Hi girls. Hello Tabitha and company. Here for you, a mater. Mmm. Mmm. El Diablo, do you want some? My goats even like the tomatoes sometimes, even if they're not the freshest. Never moldy, never give them moldy ones, and never give them the tomato plant. They're actually out of the nightshade family, and in excess, the leaves, stem, and actual plant of a tomato when given in excess to a goat is toxic and can lead to death. So while the tomato is fine, and they might be able to taste test them, it would probably still upset their stomach. Don't give them the plants from the tomato. You can give them the tomato, just not the tomato plant. Make sense? Good. I think I'm gonna go ahead and sign off for the day, guys. Quite frankly, it is hot. Hot day in the Hoosier State, and we've got a lot done. So I feel pretty good going back in and enjoying the AC for the rest of the evening. And as you saw, we have a lot that we harvested. There's a lot we can do with that. So in the near future, hopefully you will see some freezer preparation as well as canning coming from our channel, along with our experimental Hoyt Lacoche. I'm sorry, anybody out there that knows that I'm butchering how that's said, I will look it up phonetically so that when we do go to prepare it, I'm not butchering the word. But I'm really excited to try that, and it's been really good, been really rewarding to be out here and seeing bountiful harvests feed us as well as our livestock. And hopefully next year we'll have new livestock that will be even better at taking care of the parts that we don't want to eat but don't want to let to go to waste either. So with that being said, guys, we're signing out. If you want to keep up with me, my little farm, and my little family here on Mulberry Branch Farm, there's a really easy way you can do that. Go ahead, follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Those links are going to be down in the description below. And if you really want to follow us on our next adventure, go ahead, subscribe, but don't forget to hit the notification bell, because there are a lot of adventures I want to bring you along with me. And you'll never know they're happening if you don't get that notification. So until next time, guys, thanks so much for being here with us. Make sure that you stay healthy out there and be kind to one another. Bye. She too tough for you? You guys can see Rosie and Sky, as always, are out here with us.